Right, welcome ladies and gents. So Crystal Dynamics is ending support for Marvel's Avengers later this year, which is, I guess, one in a long list of reasons why AAA games suck in this day and age. And it's a massive shame actually from Crystal Dynamics. And I think this signifies the shifting change and tone and waves of AAA games. Crystal Dynamics used to make utterly incredible games. And have just fallen so far from, the tree of what used to be good content. And maybe this is something to do with Marvel in general. I don't know. I'm sure they have a tight leash on, what they sort of put out in terms of what they're able to do with their licenses. I think it would be sort of naive to think that they don't have a part to play in this. But it was a shit show from the start. An absolute joke from the start. And now they're ending it. I mean, it's after a 2.5 year run of a game which was fundamentally broken from the off, got terrible reviews from the off, and they've slowly tried to fix it. And this is what AAA games do now anyway, is that they release a fundamentally broken game, and then they try and fix it as they go along, and hope for the best. So they hope that they'll get, the initial payback, from investors and. But essentially people buying the game, they hope that they can kind of recoup the cost of making the game, which is broken. They hope to recoup that from the off, and then slowly change things around during its time of release. And Crystal Dynamics is just ending it. So, I mean, this is a joke through and through. It's no surprise to anyone that's been dealing with games, if in the last 10 years or so. Again, just a complete joke. So we have this article here. After years of battling with some of Earth's mightiest heroes, Crystal Dynamics has confirmed that the end is near for its action-adventure game Marvel's Avenger. So the developer announced that following update 2.8, so not even a huge update window to be fair, that was on March. That's going to be on March 32nd. I don't think that's a thing. 2023, there are no more plans to add new content or features to the game. Official support for the game, it completely ends in September 30th. It's done this year. September is gone. Of course, single player and multiplayer games will still remain playable, but support, additional content, everything is done. And again, this is one in a long list of AAA games that release fundamentally broken. And it's actually one of the reasons why, because a lot of people are always like, I had comments today going, are you going to be playing the Dead Space remake? And I'm like, yeah, maybe. I'll wait a few months to see whether it's, broken or not. Because this is the problem. I remember when Dead Space first came out, it wasn't broken. It didn't need updates. It was just a completed game. You bought it, you downloaded it, or you put a disc in, and you could just play it. It was fine. Nowadays, because everything's downloadable and you can just update things really quickly, the games developers don't have to release a completed game. Cyberpunk 2077 is a prime example of this. It's a game which had so much buzz, it released broken, it killed all the buzz, and they've just killed off the game. That's it, it's done. Because this is the problem with the advent of streaming and the ability to download things at incredibly high rates, is that you have game developers that just take the piss, and you don't have to release a completed game. When it was all available on one disc, the game was completed. That's just, again, for kids watching this video, you wouldn't remember that, but that was the golden age of game content, because it was a completed game, it was all available on one disc. And then what would happen is you would have expansion packs. And I remember one of my favourites for PC was Aliens vs Predator 2. And then you had Aliens vs Predator 2 Primal Hunt, the expansion pack. And it was a completely new game. It was called an expansion pack, but it was a completely brand new game. But yeah, I digress slightly. It's just my anger at AAA games these days. So yeah, everything's going to be done as of September 30th. It's all done. And like I said, this is a rocky 2.5 years for Marvel's Avengers. The once highly anticipated game. 2020 it was launched. Mixed reviews. Loads of issues. Bad experience. Apparently combat was enjoyable, but loads of bugs, repetitive gameplay, no substantial content in the base game. Again, the base game is the game. If you don't have good content in the base game, what's the point of playing it? Where's the incentive to pay, you know, we're talking upwards of £50, so what's that, like $70, $75? What's the incentive to buy a broken game with nothing in it? And then there was another major problem, online multiplayer, terrible, didn't work, matchmaking didn't work, slow progression, reused environments and enemies. Again, I don't mind reusing environments and enemies. You know, I'm from an era where that was, pretty much the norm. But you can't have all the bugs. The bugs are what kills it. So, again, Crystal Dynamics used to be so good. Crystal Dynamics, publisher Square Enix, they used to be so good. They had loads of scrutiny. They added microtransactions. That's another thing which AAA games do now. In September 2021, they introduced XP Boost, which could only be purchased with actual cash. So the issue with this, of course, was that it followed a previous update that altered the progression system. So you had something which worked, or at least people were dealing with, right? And then you neutered that, made it more difficult and slow, and then introduced a transactional element to boost it. Essentially making people want to pay money because you made the game worse. Obviously, loads of outcry. It was changed, so microtransactions could only be used to purchase cosmetics and customization options. And I think there's even an element in EU law now is that you can't do that anyway because it becomes a form of gambling. So they've changed that at the very least. I believe so. Anyway, not 100% clear cut on that. So obviously, loads of rocky starts, terrible decisions. Crystal Dynamics stuck with it for over 2 years. During this time, Marvel's Avengers received multiple post-launch updates. Again, broken game, but we'll just keep updating stuff. We'd include release of new characters, Clint Barton, Kate Bishop, Spider-Man, Black Panther, just loads and loads of characters, which I guess is kind of a good update, but it doesn't fundamentally change what was essentially broken. It's just cosmetics. Now there's no new cosmetics coming to the marketplace, and it's done. March, update 2.8, it's done. So the ability to purchase cosmetics will cease with update 2.8. Credits will no longer be purchasable. All remaining credit balances will be converted to in-game resources. So any sort of money that you did have, it's fine. We're just going to convert it for you, which is shit all round. So yeah, not good. Challenge cards, shipment cosmetic content will be made available for free to everyone. Every single outfit, takedown, emote, nameplate from the marketplace, challenge cards, shipments will be free for all players from this date onwards. And if you own a copy of the game, no refunds will be given to anyone who had previously purchased any of those things. So I guess that's a massive slap in the face to anyone that had actually bought the stuff previously. That's just, this is why AAA games are just fucked, basically. There's no two ways about it. Harsh language, I know, but it's just fucked. And you had a blog update from Crystal Dynamics. Again, what a once great game developer. So we know this is disappointing news as everyone in our community has such a connection to these characters and their stories. We're so grateful that you came on this adventure with us. I think that's the only sort of massaging of the pain that they're experiencing here, is the fact that people did actually buy it. Your excitement for Marvel's Avengers, from your epic photo mode shots to your threads theorizing who our next heroes would be, to your Twitch streams, has played a large part in bringing this game to life. We hope you continue to play and enjoy Marvel's Avengers. We can't thank you enough for your support and for being part of our super team. Again, not good. Not good. Didn't turn a profit for Square Enix. So again, who wants to pay for these licenses from Marvel if it doesn't turn a profit? So the publisher reported an estimated loss of $63 million. Fucking just atrocious. Again, Crystal Dynamics used to be so good. Square Enix used to be so good. So Square Enix president Yosuke Masuda described the game as a commercial disappointment for the company. Again, they're not used to commercial disappointments. These are big ball swingers in the AAA game department normally. So Square Enix sold Marvel's Avengers developer Crystal Dynamics and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy developer Eidos Montreal, as well as IPs like Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, Legacy of Kain, and more to the Embracer Group. And that's my Thief and Legacy of Kain are my what I rate Crystal Dynamics as. Tomb Raider was great, of course, but Thief and Legacy of Kain was what made Crystal Dynamics so unique and so good. They nailed those stories. They were absolutely incredible. So this is a huge disappointment all round. I'm sure Crystal Dynamics is absolutely shitting themselves. I'm sure Square Enix, a loss of $63 million. Fucking terrible. So much so that they have to sell assets. Not good. Really, really not good. And it's not a good look either for any prospective game developer looking to take on a Marvel IP as a license. Because they have to pay substantial cash for this, for the license, as well as creating something on the back end. It's a real bad look. But again, this isn't not necessarily a reflection of Marvel as a product, but also a direct reflection of where the AAA games market has gone, which is they just release broken shit. So let me know what you guys think down below. Would appreciate it. Please do subscribe, give the video a like, and please do share it. Cheers, guys. Take care.